came back and I said, Dana said she was. He's like, damn, can we record today? That's crazy.
What's that other girl name? Don't nobody know. Where she go? She go.
I had to bring my guest back. We need a third chair up in this bitch. Let's go view.
Why? So she can have no opinion because she be shut down. She ain't gonna know how to deal with you. I'm probably the only one that is outside of your family who know how to deal with you.
Let's go have a view. A view. We need a third seat. Welcome to another episode of Diva Court. I'm your host, Marsha Mignon, and with me is my co-diva who comes with a disclaimer.
Hey y'all, it's Dana in the building.
Smith, that is. We have to make sure government names are issued so that trolls can locate her appropriately.
Troll Queen, aka all up in these streets. Come for me if you want to. I'm ready.
We are not responsible for that or the things we're going to say.
Or should you believe anything we say? Because it could be off the chain sometimes.
Oh, you got to believe me, honey, because this is the truth machine over here. We do not own the rights to anything we're going to talk about.
Or are we liable for your feelings? You know the deal. Get some tissue.
This show is for edutainment purposes only. Please look for our episodes every Wednesday where we push them out for you.
Do.
How about don't?
We don't want no copyright issues, so I try to kind of
Make up a
little
song?
bit.
Oh, okay, all
Just
right.
flip it a little bit.
That's
The
a
people
made-up
know.
song.
The people know.
Please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Find us on Spotify. Apple Podcast.
Did you forget?
I was waiting on a ding. I didn't hear no ding.
Right, where the ding at?
I don't understand.
Apple.
And Google Podcasts. Since these producers are late to the party.
Late and
Okay.
not on time.
Do not forget our sponsor, Hey Curl.
Hey girl, hey.
Take our survey. Make sure you go to heycurl.shop for a free sample. Use your free Diva code, DIVAFREE code. DIVAFREE code. And go to heycurl.shop because the link is in there for you to click on the description. Ladies and gentlemen, Hey Curl. I'm still using it.
Hey girl.
Even in my new do.
Hey girl. Is that Hey Curl?
Yes, girl.
Commercial. Pay us extra for that one.
Don't forget Hey Curl.
Wait, did you hear the breathe at the same time? We was both like.
All right, we're kicking off the show with a bang.
Well, I need to make a disclaimer.
Oh,
first.
should I say?
Listen, y'all, don't be talking about my roots. I know they're a little hot today.
Look, for the people who focuses on hair,
Don't be
that
checking
diva over there
for my roots.
was not satisfied with good enough.
No, I did not. I had a whole hair issue today, so please.
She didn't have a hair issue. She created one.
That is true.
The hair was perfectly fine.
No, it wasn't. I had
And
to.
she decided,
I did, yes.
I want the audience to say something about my hair. So I'll go there.
With the wrong size clippers, it just went shoo.
So she shaved what she should not have.
Yes, she did. Yes,
Thank
she did.
God she was wearing clothing. God forbid how she would be looking.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, you don't know what that means.
I know what it means, but what does it mean?
Okay. Now, to topic number one, Mr. R. Kelly has been convicted.
Hey, serves you right. Show your right.
Wait.
Huh?
So you are celebrating the conviction of R. Kelly?
I wouldn't say celebrating because I don't like to celebrate the
Someone else's
imprisonment,
demise?
the imprisonment or the demise of
humans?
anyone.
Incarceration?
That is
at the
correct.
record rate of black men?
That is correct. I don't want to celebrate.
And you have no objection to the federal racketeering statute, which was designed for another purpose to be used for this purpose?
So like in my, cause I ain't no lawyer, in these streets, homegirls, girl power,
Okay.
in my perspective, from that perspective,
Would that be Sesame Street?
in these streets.
Okay.
The
These
hood,
streets.
the neighborhood. You know, girl power, high five, women, let's do this. It's about time that they round him up. He out here in these streets hot.
Do you think we should round up some of the parents that were participating in his enterprise?
I agree.
So when are charges supposed to drop for them?
The prosecutor need to do their job. I mean, that's why I don't like prosecutors. They don't never do their job.
That's my problem with this case, is that if we are convicting R. Kelly for engaging in a sexual enterprise associated with young women, we should include the parents at council table.
I agree.
Or try them differently. I am no objection to the prosecutors saying, when we're finished with R. Kelly, we're going after the parents who participated in this enterprise.
I agree. So I'm not going to pass the buck. Let's start here.
I think when you have to start incarcerating a man to keep your parents from delivering girls to him, that's a problem.
I think that if you're a predator and you have a funnel, I mean, I still think the predator can get locked up, because what one set of parents won't do, maybe somebody else will. I mean, you a predator. You out here.
So that means there's no accountability for the parents then. And
Never
the
said
accountability is going to be on R. Kelly. Because you're only arresting R. Kelly, you're not arresting the parents.
I mean, when there's a fire, you gotta handle the fire first and then take care of everything else.
Okay. So the parents are everything else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
don't see the parents as a fire and him as everything else?
No, I feel like he's like the creator of this whole issue, and then they're just a funnel to get to him.
You don't think greed and I want money and I want to be famous plays a role in why people were willing to subject their children to this?
I don't blame the prostitute. I blame the John.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Now, why would accountability not be on both parts?
There is accountability on the prostitute, but if there was no customer, there would be no job.
So,
I mean, women always
if there's no customer for weed, does weed still grow?
I blame the drug dealer.
Do you blame the weed?
I don't blame
for
the
growing
addict.
itself?
I blame the... Wait, how does that work? No, I blame the addicts. See, gotta keep up with you. I blame the addict because if the drug dealer is the funnel, the addict is the customer. So I blame the customer.
Okay.
Yes.
So in that situation, you blame the customer, but in the R. Kelly situation, you blame R. Kelly.
R. Kelly is the customer. He's the one receiving.
He's not the customer. The parents are the customer.
No.
He's the buyer.
No.
He's the drug dealer.
The buyer is the customer.
He's the sex dealer. He's dealing sex.
The buyer is the customer.
He's dealing sex, and the parents.
No, they're dealing
the
sex.
Parents
they're
are the customers.
No. They're the pimps.
The parents are the pimps.
Yes.
And R. Kelly is the prostitute.
R. Kelly is the John. You with that, right?
So you just included a third party in it.
I did. I did. Okay, so let's
because my hypothetical was two people.
R. Kelly is the John,
but
the
my
parent is the pimp, and then the child is the sex worker in this situation.
So my co-diva always starts a hypothetical with one plan.
Yes.
And then take me down the road with another plan.
It's an intricate process.
Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
All right, so we're going to get back to the process. So
you don't blame the John?
Here's why I don't blame the John. I think, right, if the government would play its rightful role in assuring that, one, people have resources available to them. Here's what I mean by that. There's always a root to what's going on when you have a problem. What I realize is that this country likes to treat symptoms, not problems. The problem is, how did a young lady who got taken from the hospital with her parents, bouncing baby girl, end up from that hospital location to the streets? There's a process, like you said, intricate though it might be.
That is true.
Was defects involved? Did that child get molested in the process? Was that child molested in the hands of a parent? Was there any services available to them? Was that child in a less advantaged school district? Did the systemic racism in education cause that child not to receive the education and services that would cause her to grow up to be a productive citizen? What happened to that child? Because if we get to the root of the problem, there wouldn't be Johns. There won't be Johns. Because guess what? No girl would put herself on a corner of a street and subject herself to that type of repulsive sexual encounter with some repulsive man for $1 bill? You ever heard the song?
No,
For the love of money.
agree.
If they have resources, it is my position on Diva Court that if people have resources, there's a lot of things that they will not do. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I agree with that.
So how we deal with it is not by leaving the young lady on the corner and locking up what you refer to as the John. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But by stopping it at its root, going to schools, talking to these girls, pairing them with mentors, finding single parents and disadvantaged mothers who are trying their best to make ends meet, teach them safe sexual conduct so they don't just keep popping another one out and another one out and another one out.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have steer-step children who are raising the next child. The 5-year-old is raising the 4-year-old and the 4-year-old is raising the 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And stop it at its root. And then we would be able to alleviate. Hey, John, that's what I mean by I don't blame the John.
But no, I mean, he's still a predator though. Like, you don't have to be, you could come from a good home and everything, and if he's a manipulator and, ooh, baby, I love you, and come, and next thing you know, he married a 14-year-old girl.
What
like,
is
come
he
on.
using to get you there? The promise of money.
No, it could be the promise of a relationship. It could be the promise of a love. It could be, I'm R. Kelly.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm R. Kelly, bitch.
Why would you be attracted to R. Kelly other than his money?
Because he attractive.
His money.
Because he fine. He's so fine.
He's not fine. He's wealthy.
He look good too.
He's rich. Money makes man look good.
Are you telling me right now on this floor that R. Kelly ain't cute?
He's not cuter than the average man that's going to his regular lift the box up job.
I understand that, but are you telling me on the floor that he's not attractive?
Why are we seeking him out? His money.
There's men who have no money and got hoes and different area codes. Shout out to Ludacris.
Because of money.
They don't have no money. They be broke, and women be taking care of them. He be having like 5, 6 women taking care of him, and all he is a cute face.
You've got a difference between a gigolo.
A gigolo getting lots
and
of
a predator.
He's still a predator, manipulator.
No. A gigolo
Okay.
doesn't mess with little girls because little girls don't have no
That's
money.
true. They ain't got no money.
So get your definitions straight.
Okay, look at you trying to
School you.
Yeah, I see it.
Diva Court.
All day.
Educate. Edutainment.
Edutainment purposes only. Did I say it right this time? Because usually I'm like,
because she don't say. She don't say it right.
Only.
At the beginning.
I don't know how to say only.
It's the beginning times. There's a difference between a gigolo and a predator who wants to have improper sexual contact with minor girls.
I know, but we can't save these women, so we gotta go after these jobs.
We can't save these women. Why not?
Because they don't want to be saved.
Because we don't want to spend the time and the effort.
They don't want to be saved. You know that song? I want to be saved. They don't want to be saved no more. They want to be in the streets. They want to be doing WAP.
I
oh
don't
my gosh.
agree.
They want to do WAP and then be mad. I was mad at WAP. Like, why are we showing women and young girls that,
Oh, no, but go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was mad at WAP. Like, why are we out here thinking that it's okay to be so sexualized, you know? And then the boy version of WAP came out, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, it's just sex all the time. And now that's why we got these genres. I blame the
two things.
I blame the young
things.
folks.
Short one on that one. You know, that's a part of the women's liberty movement, that you could be sexual,
whatever you want to be.
No, sexual and also very
classy.
Yeah.
I know a very, very, very important friend of mine that I very value her opinion, said that, you know, there's no woman out there who wants to be like that unless she has some type of sexual trauma.
Wait.
So again,
First of all, your friend must be mischaracterized, okay? Because I don't know any woman who would be educated that you really trust to give you good advice that believes that somebody's suffering from sexual trauma because they like to look sexy. I did not say that looking sexy, there's anything wrong. There's classy sexy, there's
Wasn't nothing
trashy
classy
sexy.
about that.
And then there's just downright prostitute raunchy.
That's what that was.
That's different.
That was prostitute.
Classy
raunchy.
sexy is I have on a mini skirt suit and my high heels.
Marsha,
and
we
my
ain't
red
talking about
bottoms.
classy sexy. We talking about raunchy nasty.
But my point is, when you get to raunchy nasty, there's something traumatic that
That's what
happens.
I just said.
No, you didn't say that.
Did not say that.
No.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
what you're trying to say, wait, wow, I didn't get the yes out. I said, yeet.
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 You gonna thank him at the yeet?
So,
You know how that church be saying that, man, before the pastor, amen. Before he even finished, like, dude, I was about to say you need to stop. You don't even want to stop that. You saying amen. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
no, I mean, remember, the songs and things are about different moods and modes that you're in. So there's a mode where you could feel like, oh,
Whoppish.
yeah, I'm putting it on
Can you say
tonight.
whoppish?
I'm
feel
putting it on
Can
tonight.
you say whoppish?
Whoppish.
I'm
You
not
could be in a
classy.
whoppish mood.
Tonight I'm
I'm
not.
in a whoppish.
I'm not classy
Yeah,
tonight.
right? Yeah, tonight
That's
I'm...
closed door stuff. though.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
not
but
when it's
that
on
song is
music
supposed to be
videos.
for in that.
No, but that's what my
That's
point.
what
My
the song
point
is
is that's
written for.
closed door
But who
stuff.
listening to that? It's the young kids who listening to that.
Yeah, but that's not the
that's
issue.
because
The
the
issue
adults are
again.
not
this is-
teaching them.
This is
They could just listen to it on the radio. It's on the radio. It's like, let me turn the radio on as I drive my. Oh my God.
it's still bleeped. So I mean, there's still
You know what it's
FCC is
saying.
still on it. You understand? But listen, as a kid,
Wet and
when I was
greasy.
listening to the songs and I go back as an adult, I say, "Oh my goodness!" So no. What the real issue is that we're analyzing that I think you were digging into was, like, if you have parents who are so reckless, it doesn't matter. You're gonna kind of generate that predator because it's gonna fall into someone's lap.
It's gonna be normalcy.
Right. It's-
Your parents and your
right.
family and your household lifestyle is gonna normalize inappropriate conduct.
Yeah.
So if your mother's boyfriend is coming over and you can hear them loudly having sex in the next room, as a daughter, you're thinking, "Oh, that's okay.
normal. Yeah.
That's okay." So when R. Kelly tells me to come over and that's what we're doing,
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
And she got several boyfriends, and she getting money from all of them.
Yeah,
So
and
I done hit the jackpot.
and she's talking about it sometimes in the presence of the children.
Girl, if you ain't, if he ain't giving you no money, then
Yeah.
I don't even know why you messing with him.
You got to be
I
careful.
mean, but let's look at the family who was a married couple. Who
Yeah,
sent
a husband and wife. That's the one
sent
that
their
shocked
child
me in the
and
docuseries
their daughter,
regarding
who wasn't as
surviving R.
attractive as
Kelly.
their daughter.
Hey, one. The parents took her to the concert. Who takes their 15-year-old daughter?
No, it's
to an
R. Kelly. It was
concert?
on the Chocolate
No
Factory
way.
tour. He
no
was
way.
still stepping in the name of
After
love.
he had been found not guilty
For 14-year-old.
of 14-year-old. Come on now. Come on. And I know he was not guilty, so I'm not holding that against him. Trust me, I'm a lawyer. I know when you're not guilty.
I'm
the-
gonna hold it against him like they did Robert Durst in that one trial.
I can't. Well, no, they played it for Robert Durst's jury. R. Kelly's jury didn't play anything like that for him. The juror said, "Hey, we're going to do our job. We don't see him in this video." And the person who you're alleging it is saying it's not them. So go find somebody who says, "Yes, that was me."
She got paid off.
And bring them back.
It's just too many. When
No,
there's
but
smoke,
guess
there's
what?
fire.
She too had a mother and a father. So if you're saying her parents didn't protect her and protected R. Kelly, what do you want?
I mean, she got paid
You
off.
cannot protect adult parents from what, unless you're going to arrest them. Why didn't you charge the mother and father
They should have
then
been.
in that case to say that they weren't telling the truth, that that's not their child? We believe it's your child. You're going to jail. And then if we take that premise, wonderful. When it's your kid, what's going to happen? When it's your turn. Because remember, there's going to
if
be
I'm
something.
giving my kid up, I need to be lock her up too.
The thing
Lock
is-
me up. If I'm
No,
like,
no.
here goes my baby,
Here's
R.
your
Kelly.
problem. Here's
After
your
I know you
problem.
mess with young girls, or I assume that you possibly may.
Here's what you're missing.
You got a history?
Here's what you're missing. You're hoping that the lines are not blurred when they come to you in your case. What do you mean? That's not. My child just had a sleepover. What are you talking about? Yes, ma'am. You're
My child ain't sleeping over no grown ass
Stop
man.
for
house.
a second.
I'm gonna just stop for a
He's
second.
sleep. Oh, so what? Hold on. She just said her child is not sleeping over no grown a man's house. Okay, let's break that down for a second, because you know me, I like to parse things a little bit. Let's break it down. So are you telling me your children are sleeping over at a house where nothing but minor children over there? Well, I'm gonna come get you for that. See, she couldn't answer that question. Okay, so I
didn't
will
get a chance.
That.
You like the amen crowd too. What you?
No, you said there's no adults
I
over
didn't
there.
say that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said my children. I'm not taking my children over no grown ass man's house to be sleeping there with.
Okay, so you took your children over there, and when you dropped them off, there were no grown men there. But one shows up while you're at home and you're sleeping, 2 a.m. I'll use that against you. You were just handing over your child. Let me show you how to prosecute it. You were reckless. You took your child over there and you didn't know what was happening in the middle of the night, did you? Did you investigate? Yeah, clutch them. Did you investigate if a man was going to come over? You knew they had a sister, right? You
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
You see what? That's my point.
Objection, Your Honor, asked and already answered.
You see my point?
Objection, Your Honor, you won't even let her speak.
My point is, you think it's okay when they're doing it to R. Kelly, but my point is, when they come for you, listeners, they might not come with anything that's that clear cut, or what you appear to think is clear cut. They can come with something as simple, racketeering, because you took more than one child over there for a sleepover, and it happened to more than one of your children. Racketeering, feds, I'm coming in. See that? That's how R. Kelly was looking too yesterday when he got his verdict.
Show me some ID.
I suggest you take the plea.
Yeah, I mean, that's guilty. I mean, guilty.
You want to drink to that?
Guilty.
You want to drink to that?
I don't even know what to say.
That's my point, listeners.
Are we drinking?
That's
what we drinking to?
She need a drink.
What we drinking to?
She drinking
freedom!
a freedom.
Did you say freedom too? Oh my gosh!
She's drinking a freedom.
Man, we be on the same page. You telling me I'm crazy? You be thinking the same?
No.
Hey, birds of a feather flock together.
Pause.
Great minds think alike.
Look.
So as a man be is a thinketh.
Okay, we be not doing anything in here because we don't be.
That's a Bible verse. They say be and think of. As a man thinks, so shall he be.
So shall.
Say that 3 times fast. She that shall, she shores off the seashells. The she shells that she sails, the seashore shells for sure. Okay? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
I was drinking before I got
no,
here.
just sip, please. Just sip, because I just need to get past that. Do
What
you
are we even talking
understand?
about?
But R. Kelly, and how easy it is for them to apply the same standard. I am not saying as a diva on Diva Court
That he ain't laying them girls low and
no.
That's not what
That you
you're saying?
don't arrest, charge, and convict people of inappropriate sexual contact with children. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you do it with the correct statute. And you don't try to give yourself an unfair advantage by using statutes that you know were not legislatively designed for those facts. That's what I'm talking about, because I'm telling you, once you open up Pandora's box, listeners, it's going to get crazy. And if I want you bad enough, I'm going to come for you, and I'm going to be able to use the same shamockery, the sham and the mockery, the shamockery.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case you didn't know. To convict you just like I did R. Kelly.
Because it sets a precedent.
Because it sets precedents. And you cannot be out here asking the law enforcement to do it to others because that means they can do it to you. You've got to step back and say, let me tell you something. I'm going to plant a young girl on him because that could easily be done. I'm going to set up a young lady to tell him her age. I'm going to mic her and I'm going to hear what he's going to say.
And you know that he is susceptible to a young girl.
And he would go forward. And then now, what would they call that? Entrapment. So my point is, find a legal way to get at this young man. But if you go in for him based on racketeering, if you're going to use that, carry the group, carry the enterprise.
Just carry everybody.
Bring the parents, bring the people who worked for him, bring all the conglomerates who assisted him with checking girls at the gate. And let me tell you something. If we start with R. Kelly, are we going to move to the band called Kiss? Or are they too blonde to be prosecuted by feds?
I don't even think they're blonde. I think they jet black.
Oh, okay. Are they too jet black? What band are we gonna stop with?
There you go. I mean,
Are we
that's
gonna
true.
stop with boys? We gonna stop at R. Kelly? We going to Boys to Men? Are we gonna stop there? I have attended a Boys to Men concert recently, right pre-COVID.
Did they ask you to go back to the back?
No, girl, you got to be in that line.
You gotta get
You got to get in that line. No, I wouldn't get in the line because I'm not waiting for that. I don't wait for food, nor do I wait for Boys to Men. So
I need a man, not a boy.
I went to the concert, right? And I saw a line that was longer than the line to get in the concert, which is the backstage that you pay extra to participate in. Where was law enforcement at that Boys to Men concert to check IDs for
So
these
if
young
you
ladies?
paid for the sex, then it's wait.
Yeah,
Wait.
right.
So it's still
Right.
prostitution because you paid. Because even though you a girl,
Yeah, he's the prostitute and you the John.
hey, there you go.
You're a 15-year-old
Everybody needs to be
John.
locked up. Lock him up.
See what I'm saying?
Lock her up. Lock
Him
Say it all
up.
together. Lock them up. Lock him up.
Them.
And lock them up. And everybody get locked up.
Oh my word.
I need to take a pause for like
No,
2
we're not gonna
seconds.
pause.
Like I just need to.
No, we're not gonna pause.
Okay.
So
I just want to turn the phone. It's
no,
stinging.
we're not gonna do that.
Okay, we're not gonna
because
do that.
we want evidence that somebody said that before they start the show, they don't have any distractions. Okay.
I guess
So-
you got me red-handed.
Okay. So we're not doing that. Thank you, listeners, for still
look,
staying focused
every time
on
we-
R. Kelly.
Can I say this one thing? Every time the phone dings, we got to drink.
Every time the phone dings, she owes me $100.
Oh man, I didn't bet that one this time.
Tired of borrowing? Can't borrow no more.
I can't borrow from Granny's purse.
No more $100 grant.
Granny's purse.
Grants. Those are $100.
R. Kelly locked up, so
Yeah, R. Kelly's up. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry,
When
can't
it's
get no
up,
money.
then it's up.
But my
then it's
point,
up,
my
then it's
point
up.
is, convict R. Kelly using the right statutes. Convict R. Kelly using the right type of facts.
Right.
Don't convict R. Kelly for parents dropping off the kids and giving them guardianship.
At daycare.
Okay? Don't convict R. Kelly for adults who are over the age of consent who said that I had sex with a grown man. Over the age of consent. Remember, laws in states have age of consent for sexual conduct. He's not charged with rape. You know why? Because nobody said he raped me. Everybody said he tricked me. That's not right. I'm telling you.
I have no remorse for R. Kelly.
No, I'm not saying I have.
I try my best to give you this.
No, I don't have any
It was
remorse
like-
for R. Kelly. And let me tell you why I don't have any remorse for R. Kelly. Let me
Alright,
flip
I wanna
this
hear
coin
that,
because
please.
I'm good at showing my listeners that I know that there are two types of listeners out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and more than two types, but at least two sides to every story.
Okay.
I don't feel any remorse for R. Kelly because he has been down this road before.
How many times?
And
This is like
once
the third
at least.
time.
No. Let's talk about at least once. Let's talk about once.
Okay.
I'm not going to include Aaliyah. I'm not including her.
Oh, I thought you weren't gonna include the one that he got not guilty for.
I'm not including Aaliyah. I'm only speaking about the not guilty one.
Okay.
That's the only one that I'm speaking about. And the reason I'm speaking about that is he went to trial. He saw how it works. He knows what the rhetoric was. He knows how angry some people were still regarding his conduct. He knows how angry people were about the fact that he was found not guilty, right? So in my opinion, if that was him in that video, he dodged a bullet, okay? I don't say that video showed it was him, but he dodged a bullet.
Right.
He's fully aware now. He's on notice. He's been through a full-blown trial. He's seen jury selection process. And evidently, his people around him did not care. Because if you surround yourself with yes men and women, you're going to have a problem. One of the other problems I think R. Kelly had with this trial versus the other trial, and I don't even know what the race or sex of his other attorneys were, is that he did not use female defense counsels. When a male gets up in a closing argument, like his black male attorney did in this closing argument, and according to the reports, because it wasn't televised. Federal court does not televise. They draw pictures. You're only allowed to have Scrivener's reports. So my point is this. When a black male gets up and sells to a jury, kinky sex. You might not like kinky sex, but kinky sex is okay for some people. I have a problem with that.
I know. I'm already like, he guilty.
Okay? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't have a woman that is presenting your story from a female perspective. You know who was smart enough to do that? Kobe Bryant.
Okay, I was about to say OJ.
Kobe Bryant, when he was charged with rape, right? He used a white female attorney, defense counsel, to represent him. Now, I know I'm a black female attorney, and I know people are like, why are you talking against black female attorneys? That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, know your audience.
Because the victim was...
Know your audience.
An alleged victim.
Know your audience.
I knew he wasn't guilty.
And know how you're going to package your case to your audience.
Wasn't he in like Colorado somewhere?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He wasn't
that matters a lot.
He wasn't even in a predominantly white jurisdiction. Because remember, where he went, no.
It's Colorado.
It's Colorado.
No. Okay, so he was predominantly white.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I meant to say he wasn't in a predominantly black jurisdiction.
Okay.
But here's the thing too. The female was so connected to the thought process of how someone who would falsely allege something like that against her client, that she was smart enough to ask for there to be DNA testing of the underwear the young lady was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
When semen was found for some other male.
And she a hoe. She a hoe.
That
only hoes wear the same underwear from the day before when she
guess
got...
what? She didn't save the underwear. She said she had on the underwear from sexual encounter she had days before that.
That's what I'm saying. That's
No. But she did not wash the underwear.
What I'm saying.
No. It was a celebrity, so there was no need to save it. She didn't wash the underwear from her consensual.
That's what I'm saying. She a hoe. If you have guys from 3 days ago.
She don't have to be a hoe. She can sleep with more than one person without
with the
being
same
a hoe.
panties on.
No. She's nasty. That's different.
You a hoe if you
What
got the
Janet
same
Jackson
panties
say?
on.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
No, if you're wearing the same panties
That you didn't wash?
that you didn't wash
That's a problem.
for the next man, you a hoe.
She wasn't wearing it for the next man. She just happened to have it on when the next man arrived.
That's what I'm saying. Clear it up for me. But at the end of the day, they on for the next man, you a hoe.
So, like I said,
I thought she was guilty.
Let me speak. You need.
I said we need to charge
You
her.
said she was guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty of what?
Being a hoe.
I'm sorry, the statute for that has not been written. We're still waiting.
Hoe style.
Legislative.
Whole life.
Legislators.
I should make T-shirts that say "whole life." You know how many girls will probably buy that because they love
It
it.
sell off the shelf.
It will.
Because that's popular now.
Ho ho.
My point is,
Yo
he
ho.
used a female.
Ooh,
And
should we
the
do Diva
female-
Core hoe shirt?
I don't think. No.
Okay. I just be saying stuff
I don't
to
think.
see what she gonna say.
Diva no shirts.
No.
I think. Do you see what I'm talking about? You see how hard it is just to get a show put together.
What do you think, ma'am?
I think that had he had a male attorney, that case would have ended differently. A male attorney, one, would have been concerned about asking for testing or DNA testing on an underwear for a female because he would think it would look like he's a male chauvinist pig. A male attorney might not have been so zealous and would have felt like, yeah, you're a man, I know what you did, right? And would have backed off on some of his defense for him. And a male attorney, I always tell male clients that, can present evidence in a manner that is not insensitive when it's a defense of a sexual assault or some type of sex offense case. Because coming from a woman, it softens the blow. A woman can come in and say, I'm a woman. We're cunning.
You
We're
know how we like
sexy.
that kinky
We're
sex.
deceptive. You understand what I'm saying?
Say that kinky, you know how
We're
you say.
deceptive. No. He came in and said, kinky sex.
You know how
Some people
sometimes you like your hair
kinky
pulled.
sex.
You know how sometimes it just feel a little good to just get a little nub. You know what I'm saying?
You think a woman can do that?
Yeah.
No.
You like it.
You have to be careful. Because even as a woman,
I
you
like
can
it.
still
We
lose
like
your
it.
jury.
We like it.
You can still lose your jury.
We all like it. Go ahead. I don't want to lose you.
You already did. You lost me at welcome to Diva Court.
Hey y'all. I'm in this.
My point is...
I guess this show ain't boring.
I guess not, huh? I guess not. Be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it.
Well, there it is.
But my point is, when you have a good female defense attorney, she can present things in a concise, precise, caring, but factual manner that doesn't offend anyone. And I think R. Kelly's defense counsel might have offended some of those jurors when he was talking about kinky sex, especially when we're talking about kinky sex with minors.
Sex trafficking.
Hello? He's charged with sex trafficking. They're alleging that these are children, and you're talking about kinky sex.
And you
caged. Right?
And people already got a bad...
I'm not free to go. I already got a bad taste in my mouth about this man.
Because Trump got cages. And
hello? And you're going to talk about kinky sex? I don't think that's a good closing.
No.
I just don't think so. But I guess that's what he felt like he needed to do for his client. And who am I to second guess? Because I didn't hear all the evidence. You understand what I'm saying? But that wouldn't have been my closing. And I think that these, especially high-profile men, need to, one, get women around them that are going to guard them from some of this misconduct. You ever notice how some pastors will not counsel a woman unless his wife or another daughter or sister or someone, another female,
or her husband,
right? Or another male being present because he wants to make sure he's protected? What is he trying to protect himself from? Satan?
Right.
I think not, unless Satan is in her. But he's trying to protect himself from false allegations of inappropriate sexual contact. Oh, he looked at me a kind of way, and as the pastor,
even the doctor won't.
Doctors call their nurses in the room for GYN exams because they're concerned about false allegations that he was enjoying your pap.
They warm now.
I'm gonna move on.
Just saying. It was comfortable.
I'm sorry.
I have a female OBGYN. I was like, hold on, girl. I don't know what you... This warm stuff is not...
So my point is, let me get back to R. Kelly, which is where we were.
Can you take your hand off your face, Mr. Producer?
And how important it is for wealthy men, rich men, or high-profile men, whether you're a football player, a singer, a writer, a poet, somebody famous, or even infamous, for God's sakes. You have to surround yourself with female siblings, female family members, female trustworthy individuals. Older women, get you an older, mature, 60-something-year-old to guard you and make sure that they're vetting people who are going to enter your circle to make sure that the purposes for which they enter your circle are not inappropriate. Not only that, if you had a 60-something-year-old manager that was booking you and she was like, hey, no, the parents wanted to, no, she can't come. She can't come. I'm the manager and I said she can't come. But we're just going on, it's innocent. It's no. It looks innocent to us and we all know it's innocent, but we're not doing it.
And he has a history of touching young, I'm sorry.
But my point is, even if the history is fraudulent, she can shut down that fraudulent history.
Exactly.
You're not surrounded by good people.
No, you're not.
And you're surrounded by yes men. Right. And that's why you've been convicted,
and that's
sir,
what they said, guilty.
On all counts. Guilty.
If I remember correctly, it was only like 3, maybe they have more, but it was only like 3 or 4 that they allege were underaged.
That's another problem that you have, is that when we're prosecuting people now, we're including irrelevant evidence of quasi-victims. Not really a victim, but something like a victim. But I'm piling it on so that the juries can get lost in the weeds and not focused on the fact that the prosecution lacks the evidence for beyond a reasonable doubt conviction. Not only that, let me tell you something. This internet and this television is making it way harder to get a not guilty verdict. I have watched case in and case out on court TV for approximately 2 years. And let me tell you something. They have 100% conviction rate. That's something to not sneeze at. Can you imagine how many trials they have covered since they've relaunched Court TV? I think it was May of 2018. Can you believe that? Or 2019? And
Wow.
guilty on every case?
Wow.
That speaks volumes. That's why people are afraid now. If you look at plea rates, they are through the roof because people are afraid they plead guilty to something they did not do.
I think plea deals should be unconstitutional.
Well, the problem is they don't want to try them. And if you're overcharging your population, how else you going to move your calendar unless you have plea deals?
Right. But the thing is that when the judge, and I just in traffic court, when the judge was like, has anybody coerced you? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, boy, just said I would be able to have my license. And it's going to cost me. I feel under duress.
Of course you're under duress.
Oh, and I said that to my judge.
No. But you said no.
No, I said that. I said, because I asked the prosecutor, I said, well, can we do like community service or something? No, you can't do community service. You got to do blah, 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 blah. So when I went to the judge, I was like, this is before I was work here. You'd just be so scared. They're like, I just kind of broke. Can I get some community service or something? Like, I can't even afford this. And she was like, you know what? I don't want to ruin your, I see you got a master's and you're doing well. Yeah, let's go ahead and give you community service. But compared to the prosecutor back there, this is a traffic ticket.
Well, the problem is that it goes back to what I said when the show started. The intellectual dishonesty with using statutes to try people and convict them for things you were unable to convict them of before.
And you know what? It was another time I got a ticket. And
what's up with her and the tickets?
Can
you stop speeding?
I got a ticket for being in the HOV lane, and then he cited me for.
What, you told him you were pregnant?
No, You know how you drive down 20, going 20 east, and the lane doesn't split off. You stay in the lane, and there was people still driving next to me, so I couldn't just get over. So because the lane
turned into an HOV lane.
Yeah,
you were stuck in it.
I was stuck in it. He got me. And then it was another, he charged me with, what's that one when you get out of the lane?
Improper lane change?
Improper lane change. But when I looked up that statute, that's if you cause an accident. It wasn't even right.
No, you can do an improper lane change without causing an accident.
Right.
Or failure to maintain lane, too.
I think it was failure to maintain lane. It was the one, but when I read the statute, you failed to maintain lane causing an accident. That's the one he cited me for. I was about to take it to trial.
Oh, God.
But they dropped that one.
Praise the Lord.
They dropped
because we didn't want to see that shamockery.
I was guilty.
I've already defined the sham and the mockery.
I was like, man.
My point, people.
Yeah.
Listeners, I can't say it enough. I'm seeing it. I'm witnessing it firsthand. Overcharging cases.
Yeah.
Charging people with things you know they're not guilty of so that they'll buckle. They'll get scared. Including evidence that you know is irrelevant because the judge is going to let it in and the jurors are going to hear it. And once the jurors hear it, it's unable to unring a bell. You cannot unring a bell.
I have a question. When you take a plea deal, is it within the statute of limitations? I'm not statute of limitations. Is it within the sentencing guidelines or can they give you less than the sentencing?
Well, if you're in federal court, they do use sentencing guidelines. However, in state court, not every state uses sentencing guidelines.
Okay.
So state court statutes use maximum sentences and minimum sentences. So if you're charged under a state statute, it'll say to not be convicted, not to be sentenced to less than 1 year or not more than 1 year, not less than 20 years. You understand? Or a maximum sentence of 20 years with a minimum sentence of 1 year. So statutes have a range. And it has 1 year to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 15, 1 to 20, and that's how it
So they can't give you community service if you have a 1 year to 20 for a plea deal. Can they do that?
No, they can. I mean, the judge can sentence you to whatever the judge wants to sentence you to, including probating your sentence. Because remember, a judge can say, I'm going to sentence you to 10 years to serve, but I'm going to probate it. So I'm going to let you serve it on probation. And that's why when people will come to me and say, oh, I didn't get convicted, I only got probation. I'm like,
you guilty.
First of all, you're not guilty, you convicted. There's a difference between I'm just guilty. You are convicted. Even though you are serving, because I always explain, listeners, probation is jail time served outside of jail. Okay? So don't get it twisted. Telling an attorney that you only were sentenced to probation, you never served any time. You are still convicted of that offense unless you were sentenced under the First Offender Act, which under the First Offender Act in state statutes, you're not convicted. You understand? So a judge might say to you, I'm going to sentence you to 10 years confinement to serve on probation, and I'll also do it under the First Offender Act. Sir, ma'am, if you complete your sentence within the 10 years, do all the things that I told you to do and do not get rearrested, I'll go ahead and issue an order. I'm going to withhold adjudication. Right? Because a lot of judges can do that too under the state statute. And then they withhold adjudication. You do all the things they tell you to do. And then under the First Offender Act, they issue an order of first offender. Okay. That means the GBI in the state of Georgia, Georgia Bureau of Investigation listeners is what GBI stands for, would not have you convicted. Okay. Now, you might still have an arrest record because you're fingerprinted at the time you were arrested for the count, but you don't have a conviction record. So there's two types of records, an arrest record and a conviction record. So you could have been arrested 100 times and convicted 0. You could have been arrested 5 times and convicted only twice. Just like R. Kelly. He was arrested several times and now convicted at least once. And they're coming for you with the rest of them. Because I don't understand why you didn't protect yourself by making sure no young girls were around you. Or you were never alone with any young girls.
Ooh, that's sentencing.
So the sentencing guidelines apply in federal court, and they're going to do what's called a sentencing report, right? So the judge is going to get a report because they're going to look at his history, look at the conduct, look at da-da-da-da-da, and then the federal court judge has a guideline. The reason the federal court came up with sentencing guidelines is because people were disparately being sentenced. You better not take a sip in the middle of my monologue and explanation. Put that hand... Why are you trying to drink to that?
I'm like, I was in.
Oh, it was so good. You want to take a sip? Well, I'll let you take a sip since I'm so good. Now this dry desert over here, I don't understand. Sip, not gulp. I don't understand what's going on. But back to what I was explaining to the listeners. Federal government had to come up with guidelines because if you were convicted by the feds in one state, you might be sentenced to life for stealing candy. And in another state, you would go home on probation. So the feds said, that's a problem. There's disparate treatment going on. And of course, black men were at the bottom of the totem pole, and they were actually on the receiving end of all of it, you know? You would have somebody convicted of powder cocaine getting way less sentence than somebody convicted of powder cocaine that was black. So in order to keep consistency with offenses and sentences, the federal guidelines got implemented. So R. Kelly, fortunately, that's federal charge. So they're going to have to go by the guidelines to determine what his sentence should be. Because remember, everybody knew what the maximum and minimum was for even Derek Chauvin because that judge had a sentencing guideline. Right. And in order to get higher than what the guidelines would permit, they had to show aggravating circumstances, which is why they brought the count for, traumatizing the kids on the side of the sidewalk.
I wonder if R. Kelly going to get aggravating circumstances.
Well, they have to charge it.
Oh,
you have to charge it and you have to prove it at trial.
Okay.
And so because of that, they're stuck with whatever they know the maximum is under the guidelines. But the judge will get a report, and after the judge gets his or her report, they're going to issue a sentence, and we'll figure out what that is later.
We will definitely follow up
on R. Kelly. That, ladies and gentlemen, is episode 22. We are grown and sexy now, not raunchy. So, bloop.
Oh, right on time.
Somebody woke up and came to work. Please look for our episodes every Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Be sure to check out our videos on YouTube. Yes. Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And as we always say here on Diva Court, we'll drink to that. Bloop. Put your hands together for me, because I did that.
You did it. Bitch, y'all gonna be boring.
But it was,
Y'all be boring.
let me tell you something. It was hard to contain you.
I don't know why. I just be talking. Sometimes it just crazy just comes.
I know. I
don't
can
know.
see it.
It's like a spirit of crazy.
I can see it.
You know, her eyes get wild.